Hola, hola. Hoy vamos a aprender sobre el verbo tener. The verb tener means to have. We've seen this a few times already through this school year. Tener can also mean some other things, tener expressions that we're going to go over in a little bit. Okay, now this is a very irregular verb. Some of you, I think, will remember some of these forms, but let's do our box, okay? And remember what the box represents. So, which box is this? Who's the subject here? Yo, that is correct. So the yo form is, you ready? Tengo. A little different than normal. Okay, watch the tu form. Okay, I'm going to put my T in there, and then I'm going to grab a different color to signify a stem change. And you guys remember we've learned some verbs like this before. So instead of T-E-N, it changes to T-I-E-N, and then we're going to put on our ending. So tienes. Does that sound familiar? Do you guys remember? ¿Cuántos años tienes? Yo tengo 14 años. All right. I'm going to go down here for él, ella, usted. We've got our T, of course. I'm going to go for my blue marker again because I have to change the stem. Okay? Another stem change there. Okay, what do you think the ending's going to be? Tiene, just the E. Yep. So tengo, tienes, tiene, forms of the singular side, right? Okay, let's go over to nosotros. Nosotros, we're going to skip the stem change, no stem change there, right? And we're going to put in tenemos. For today, we're going to skip vosotros, and we're going to go down to the ellos, ellas, ustedes form. Got to get my marker out again because I'm going to switch the E with IE. And then I'm going to finish that, and the ending is an EN, okay? So here we have the forms of tener, okay? Tengo, tienes, tiene, tenemos, tienen. Now, we use this verb if we want to talk about things that we have, right? So I could say, yo tengo mucho papel. Or, tienes un bolígrafo? Do you have a pen? Ellos tienen muchos perros. They have many dogs. Okay, so possessions, that's the basic meaning for tener. However, we're going to go over some expressions now that use the verb tener, which, by the way, when we say use the verb tener, it's got to be one of these. How do we know which one to pick? Who's the subject, right? Who's the subject of the sentence? If we're talking about he or she, then we want to go to this box, right? Tiene. All right, here we go. So some of these are going to be familiar to you. I'm going to use my good little cards here. All right, first one. Tener with a number, años, is to have blank years. In English, though, that's how we say I am blank years old, okay? All right, tener que, followed by an infinitive. Hold on a minute. We got to review. What is an infinitive, Class A? Yep, it's a verb form that ends in AR, ER, or IR. In other words, don't put an ending on it. Leave it in the base form, right? So probably the most common phrase we learned in the beginning of the year was, tengo que irme, I have to go, right? So tener que means to have to do something. What would this mean then? Tengo que estudiar mi español. That is correct. I have to study Spanish. Okay, then we have another one with an infinitive, tener ganas de plus infinitive. This is a little bit different. Instead of to have to, this one means to feel like doing something. So maybe you have to study Spanish, right? Tengo que estudiar español. But what do you feel like doing? Tengo ganas de ver televisión. Tengo ganas de jugar los videojuegos. Tengo ganas de tomar una siesta. Lots of other things that you would feel like doing. Infinitive, again, remember, leave it alone so it ends in AR, ER, or IR. All right, here we go. Tener hambre, to be hungry. Tener sed goes along with hungry, to be thirsty. Next one, tener frío, to be cold. Opposite, tener calor, to be warm or hot. Tener suerte is to be lucky, which I am not. I do not gamble. All right, tener prisa is to be in a hurry, to be in a hurry. Tener razón is to be right or to be correct. If you make it negative, then it's to be wrong, okay, or to not be correct. Tener miedo is to be afraid. The reason we have a de there in parentheses is if you said, like, I'm afraid of the dark, or she's afraid of spiders, or something like that. And we have tener sueño, which means to be sleepy. So these expressions we need to have memorized, but let me just give you a couple examples. So if we let's say my husband and I, we walk into a room and we're like, ooh, wow, okay, we're cold. We need to turn the heat up because we're cold. Well, then what we're going to do is use this expression, but we have to put it in the correct form, the verb tener. We can't just leave it in the infinitive form. So which one of these would we use if we're talking about my husband and I, we? It would be tenemos, correct, right? Tenemos frío. We are cold. Frío does not change. That's going to stay the same. The only thing that changes in the expression is tener, okay? All right, let's say that your buddy, your best friend gets home from school and he's hungry. He is hungry. So which form do we want? Él tiene hambre. Sí, él tiene hambre. He is hungry. What would this mean, clase? Él no tiene hambre. Correct. He is not hungry. So as we've learned today, the verb tener can mean to have, like you possess something or you have something, right? Legitimately, like physically. Or we can use it with these different expressions to talk about kind of how we're feeling or whatever, okay? All right, don't forget to practice, do your homework, and study your Quizlet sets. Hasta pronto!